I don't think we've ever lived in a time where more professional athletes have gotten triggered by people in the stands, by fans in the stands heckling them. Heckling has been something that has gone on likely since the beginning of time. And I would imagine that the things that were said in the 80s, in the 90s, before cell phones were invented, before everyone could record everything at any given moment, I imagine some of those things were worse than what you hear nowadays on the sidelines. But nevertheless, today's NBA stars are much different than the stars of the 80s and 90s. Instead of using that as motivation, instead of using that to fuel them and try to shut the fans up, instead, all too often, we see a lot of these NBA players lose their cool, get triggered, even get people thrown out of the stadium for simple things like calling someone a bitch, for simple things like mocking your celebration, like we saw Russell Westbrook do just the other day. And now yet another NBA star is getting upset at fans in the stands. Watch, NBA star restrained by official and teammate in confrontation with heckling fan. And you can see Jamal Murray right here got really triggered over something fans said in Detroit. Denver Nuggets star Jamal Murray had to be restrained by his teammate Nikola Jokic after fans in Detroit began to heckle him during play on Thursday night. And we do have the video right here. We can watch and we can listen to what these guys were saying.
Sucking dick! You're a peon! I still see you, girl. Jamal, you're a peon!
How about that Instagram?
Hey!
Now, if you missed what they said, he said, I seen your girl sucking dick. He's talking about his girl. I don't know Jamal Murray's relationship status. I don't know who his girlfriend is. I don't know anything like that. But something they said clearly got to him. I don't know what's out there about Jamal Murray. Maybe something very sensitive. But you can see that it immediately got his attention and got to him.
You ain't gonna do shit, boy! You ain't gonna do shit, boy! You're done!
Now you can see Nikola Jokic come over, right, immediately kind of grab Jamal Murray, make sure nothing happens, and get in between them. But here are some of the people in the stands. Now, did any of these guys get ejected? There's court security that comes over. I don't know if they ended up getting ejected or not. Now, Jamal Murray, to his credit, did play better in the second half of that game. Maybe he got a little inspiration. But there's no doubt that this is yet another case of you see these guys, even like when the game is ongoing, really letting the fans bug them. And when you do something like this, all that you've done, Jamal Murray, is let everyone know how triggered you will get if they mention the same thing. All that's going to do is encourage more fans to say the exact same thing to get you going. Like that's absolutely going to continue to happen. And it just seems like a theme in the NBA. I think it all started big time with LeBron James being such a bitch all the time whenever people would call him a bitch, getting so sensitive over fans in the stands. Heckling has happened since the beginning of time. It will continue to happen in professional sports. That's the bottom line. But it seems like today's athletes, maybe they feel like they got to be tough. Maybe they feel like they got to stand up to it. Maybe they feel like those fans shouldn't be allowed to say things like that. I personally think virtually anything, with the exception maybe of some actual racial slurs or whatever, should be able to be said to people that are playing the game. Is there some limitations? Yeah, probably. But for the most part, that's part of the game. Heckling is part of the game. People are going to use anything they can to try to get to you. And if you let them know that it got to you, it's only going to get worse. What do you guys think of Jamal Murray getting very upset with some fans on the sidelines? Didn't see any video where these guys eventually got kicked out. My guess is they probably did, with security right there with what we've seen in the NBA. Let me know in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.